have 3 topics as I have told you. First we will be dealing about the Special Protection Group. The SPG was created based upon the recommendation of the Birbal Nath Committee. It aims to protect the Prime Minister as well as the President. SPG provides protection in India only. SPG and its employees are excluded from the purview of the RTI Act even after retirement. Now, we had to use a number of incorrect statements from the following. Okay, so if we are going with the elimination method, we have seen an only here, in India only. So if it's a special protection group, it is actually have to give protection not just only in India, and if the person is going abroad also, the SPG has to give protection. Now it aims to protect the Prime Minister and the President. Now this is exclusive. You have to know that SPG gives protection to which all category, but here the SPG gives protection not to the President but to Prime Minister as well as the former Prime Minister plus the family members, close relatives and family members of the Prime Minister as well as the former Prime Minister, and it is actually based upon the recommendation of the Birbal Nath Committee in 1985. The SPG has a lot of rights and a lot of exclusions also they face, and one such is that they are excluded from the purview of the RTI Act. Even through the screenings in the Prime Minister's office and such, they are excluded. They don't have to undergo the screening in the if they are even visiting the Prime Minister's office. They are also excluded from the RTI. So the person in the SPG has some special protections given to them, and one such is that they are actually excluded from the RTI Act. So here only 2 statements are correct here and the 2 are incorrect. So only 2. We have so choose the incorrect statement here. So recently, what are the context in the news is that IPS officer Alok Sharma has been actually appointed as a new SPG. The earlier SPG has recently died, so IPS Alok Sharma will be replacing, or is actually newly appointed chief. A person to actually come to the SPG should have IPS rank or above, then only they can be appointed as the SPG chief. So if you are looking into the context of the SPG as such, the SPG, like initially there was no SPG committee. Even after Birbal Nath actually recommended the creation of the SPG for the initial 3 to 4 years, there was very relaxation and that particular SPG committee was not recommended. But with the assassination of a former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, the SPG's importance was increased. So protection was actually given to the Prime Minister as well as the former Prime Minister, to the family members of the Prime Ministers and the former Prime Ministers also. This protection was actually given. In 1990, this protection, like for Prime Minister, the term of years is 5 years. So for the 5 years protection will be given. But for the former minister, initially in 1991, it was told that for 10 years the protection will be given. But in 2019, this particular act was amended again, and in 2019, this 10 years was actually reduced to 5 years alone and not 10 years. So they give protection both in India and abroad as well. Initially it was for 10 years the protection gap, but it was in 2019 amendment. This 10 years was actually reduced to 5 years for the former Prime Ministers and the close relatives. Now for the close relatives, they can actually say that they don't need the protection, that is okay, but for the Prime Minister and the former Prime Minister, this protection is actually given presently for 5 years. Okay. An officer from the IPS service with a rank not lower than the Inspector General of Police will actually lead the SPG group, and they don't even actually participate in the Republic Parade also. Now, so that is what is the SPG is. If you are going in detail what are the functions and the powers and what are the exceptions they actually get, the other is that they are actually even after retirement they will not come under the purview of the RTI Act. If now they were in the force, they are not coming under the RTI means it's okay, but even after the retirement they won't come under the purview of the RTI Act. So they also don't have to exempted from the security screening in the Prime Minister's office. So that is what the SPG, the Special Protection Group, is dealing with. Now we have the Special Task Force. It is a permanent body constituted under the Central Law of Special Task Force. The STF can make decisions of their own without the consent of the superiors. The thing is that the Special Task Force does not come under the central law but rather the state, and this is actually a temporary group. Suppose the police of the state cannot solve a particular crime, or they are actually lagging, or a particular force is actually needed to tackle a particular crime. Example, we can say drug. It will sometimes take a long time to tackle it or a very short time to tackle it. So a particular group, like a temporary group specialized for a particular action is created. Such kind of groups is known as a special task force. The thing is that if I am taking drugs, so law Karnataka creates, there is a lot of drug mafias and things going on. So the Karnataka government, what they do, they will actually create a special task force which only deals with the particular area of drug trafficking, bringing down all the drug trafficking. When this thing is covered, or when the task is actually completed, this special task group will be actually dismantled. They don't have any particular function again. This is actually created for a short period of time. Depending on the case, they can actually go years and years, or when the task is completed, this particular body will be actually dismantled. So that is a special task force. That is not a permanent body, it's a very temporary body. And yes, they can make decisions of their own, because it's a very high level profile case and something they are exclusively given a particular case. They don't have to actually go to the seniors again and again for simple permissions and such. They can take decisions of their own. Such kind of personality is actually appointed as the chief of this also, so that he can actually take the initiatives and measures of his own. So here the correct statement is actually totally, we are asked to choose the correct statement. So here only the first statement is actually wrong. Now let us look into more about the special task force. I have already given you a more tempo of what a special task force is. As I have told you, they are specialized in crisis management. They can deal with drugs or terrorists or particular cases, or bringing all down the trafficking, sexual trafficking and such. So they are very specialized in the crisis management. Their major duty is of special task force is to investigate, control and avert. Investigate, control and avert various ongoing crimes and such. The special task force are actually a part of the police task force where developed in India to address certain issues. They are actually part of the police force. Now we can actually say some examples, like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka created a special task force in 1980s to catch the ivory poacher named Veerappan. You might know, if you are locally in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, people, if you are watching this, you might know who the character of Veerappan is, the ivory poacher Veerappan. So in 1980s, this particular special task force actually created to catch Veerappan. That is a prime example we can actually state about. They are actually short term, or they can actually go long term as well, and is designed to be a temporary group of people who actually come together and they can actually make decisions of their own. So that is what a special task force deals with. Moving on, exercise Vajraprahar is conducted by the India and which are the following countries? We have Australia, Japan, USA and Russia. Recently, this exercise Vajraprahar was actually conducted by India and USA. We have certain kind of this is USA, that's the Vajraprahar. So it's very important that especially for your prelims, questions like this can be very tricky to eliminate. If you know, if you know which all countries which we have, like certain kinds, if you know by heart, then it will be actually easy to eliminate from the above following, or else it will be very difficult for you. Thus for the prelims perfector view, just countries, like especially in the COD, if you can remember the certain kind of exercise, the military, the naval and the air force exercise, especially from the COD countries, Australia, Japan and USA, if you do know the names, it will be very beneficial for your prelims preparation as well. So the exercise Vajraprahar recently happened between India and USA. So if you are looking close into this exercise Vajraprahar, the exercise aims at sharing best practices and experience in the areas such as joint planning, operational tactics and such. It was first inducted in 2010s, and they actually rehearsed a series of special operation in the military point of view and such, even in the airborne operation. The other military exercise between India and USA, we have the Yuddha Abhyas, we have the COPE India, we have the Malabar exercises. Now Malabar exercises also happened this year, so it's very important. Some can be annual, some can be biennial. So it's important that you know certain, especially like Malabar exercise where we have Japan, Australia, all actually took part in the Malabar exercise as well. So we have COPE India and Yuddha Abhyas as well between India and USA. Now that completes the important initiative from the defense sector. Now we will be actually moving on to awards. Consider the following statement about the JCB prize. It is an annual award for a non-fiction book. It considers only original works and translations are actually not awarded. So first let us look into what is a JCB prize is actually about. So recently the JCB prize was actually awarded to Perumal Perumal Murugan's novel Alanda Panchi. But the thing is that this is Tamil work and this was actually rewritten by Janani Kannan in English. So this particular prize is awarded to both the original language as well as the translation of this language. The translation is called the Firebird or Wing of Firebird. Now this was actually translated by Janani Kannan. So the prize will be given to both the person. About 25 lakhs will be actually awarded to Perumal Murugan, whereas 10 lakh will be actually given to the translator, that is Janani Kannan. And there is a book length of work. It is a non-fiction based of a work. 25 lakhs to the author, 10 lakh to the translator. It is India's most valuable literature prize as such. Now this will be given to any language that is present in the schedule, 8th schedule of our constitution, which consists of 22 languages, and this is actually awarded to non-fiction length work. So that completes our JCB prize. So now let's look into the question. As I told you, it's an annual award for a non-fiction book. That's the correct statement. It considers only original works and not any translation. This is actually a wrong statement. So here only one is the correct statement. It goes for both the original work as well as the translation of the book as well. Now, consider the following statements about the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize. The Indira Gandhi Peace Prize is awarded to individuals or organizations to honor their efforts in international peace, development, new international economic order, etc. The recipients are chosen from a pool of Indian nominees alone. M.S. Swaminathan, Sheikh Hasina, Bill Melinda Gates Foundation, Manmohan Singh, etc. receive this award. If you are looking by the following methods of elimination, both these are contradictory. As you see that the nominees are selected from a pool of Indians alone. But you can see that Sheikh Hasina, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation all got, even various other individual organizations and outside non-Indians also got this award. So if you are looking that way, either 2 or 3 will be wrong. But here the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize is given to individuals and organizations all over the globe for the particular peace purpose or for the humanitical purpose they have done. So it is actually chosen from a pool of Indians and other non-Indians, not just Indians alone. So second statement is actually wrong. So with that, the third statement is correct, and the first statement, not just individuals, this particular prize is actually given to organizations as well. We have Bill and Melinda Gates as well. So here we had to choose the number of incorrect statements, so only one statement is actually incorrect here. The thing is that recently the nurses has been given from the IMA, Indian Medical Association, the nurses has been actually given the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize because they portrayed their valor during the COVID time. They actually assisted the other Indians, gave out the medicines and such. They were in their toes and feet for 24/7 helping the patients. So for their valor, their bravery and such, this award has been actually given to the nurses of IMA. Okay, so if you are looking more on the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize, as you can see, the Vice President Hamid Ansari, Congress actually gave it away to IMA nurses. So the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize award to individuals as well, that includes scientific discoveries, not just in the case of humanities. You can actually go for scientific discovery that is actually benefit to humanities. Even M.S. Swaminathan got the particular prize for his green revolution kind of works as well. But in order to eligible for the work, a written work has to be also be published. Now there is a panel called the Indira Gandhi Trust Memorial Trust, and they consist of, they pool the national as well as the international people nominees, and they actually choose from that pool as well. So if you are looking from 2010 onwards, certain kind of people like Eka Bhatt, Angela Merkel, even ISRO in 2014, Manmohan Singh got, Sir David Attenborough in 2019. So even the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee also got this, the particular organization also got this award. So it's restricted not just to Indians, it is actually given to individuals and organizations all over the globe who actually helps in maintaining the peace of the world. So that is the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize. Then Booker Prize. Recently the Booker Prize has been actually awarded to an Irish author named as Paul Lynch for the novel Prophet Song. He has written the Prophet Song. Now mainly this particular book is actually given to fiction. Is actually given to fiction and trying to save a family. So this basically on fiction, talking mainly about some kind of sad story or some realistic story as such. Such kind of fiction, this Booker Prize is actually given out. The Prophet Song is actually dystopian work set in the near future vision of the Ireland, trying to save a family from total ransom. Such kind is the content of the book Prophet Song, which he has actually written up. This Booker Prize also comes with a cash award. Almost 50,000 pounds are actually given to it as well. The novel captures the social as well as the political anxieties that are existing there. The fiction Booker Prize is open to fiction work that is actually written by any nationality, written in English and published in the UK or Ireland. Now this is one of the important criteria that Booker Prize is related to. This Booker Prize can be written by anyone. It can be even written by a person of Sri Lanka. But if the book is actually translated to English and published in London, then that book can be actually eligible for the Booker Prize as well. It has to be published in UK or Ireland and should be translated to English as well. The Booker Prize was first awarded in 1969 and has featured claimed authors like Salman Rushdie, Harley Mantel, Margaret Atwood, some of the personalities who actually have got the Booker Prize award. Now, in the International Booker Prize award is annually given for actually a single book, as I have told you. In 2005, this Booker Prize was actually renamed as the Man Booker International Prize as well. Now, the vital work of translator is also actually celebrated here. Each shortlisted author and the translator also receive, like we saw the JCB Prize for the particular fiction. In the JCB Prize, we saw that for the particular fiction work, the author as well as the particular author and the translator also gets prize. Similarly, in the Booker Prize, for the fiction, the author also the translator will also get the prize. So that is